Ladies and gentlemen, now it does give me great pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker for today, José Andrés. I'm sure many of you have heard of him. He was named one of Time's 100 most influential people and outstanding chef by the James Beard Foundation. And he is recognized all over the world for being a culinary innovator, a personality, a television personality, an author, an educator. He actually teaches courses at George Washington University and at Harvard. He runs an NGO, he has an NGO called World Central Kitchen, which is going to be working with the World LP Gas Association on a project going forward. And his mission is to be a chef that is not feeding the few, but is helping to feed the many. And he's quite a personality. We're very excited to have him here. Ladies and gentlemen, José Andrés.
Hi, everybody. So happy to be here. I've been listening for the last half hour. Wow, what a work you have in your hands. And I don't know if you read this, but I read this, the antitrust reminder, and says it's important that we avoid any discussions or comments that may not be appropriate. Man, I'm in trouble. Because even the appearance of any improperly will be not allowed. So let's see if I'm able to do this. Let's start with this simple slide. Deforestation. Erosion. Destruction of our oceans. Even terrorism. For many people, death. And if I ask you, you who are the experts, what all those things have in common, this is the very simple answer. Fire, the flame. The flame that we use to survive, because we cook with it, period. Important like hell. It's a flame that you and I, all of us here probably in this room, we really take for granted. We do. But for many millions around the world, I will say billions, is actually devastating, has very, very negative consequences. And my friends, this, we all know, is unacceptable. And I'm so happy to be here with you today because everybody I see in this room right now, what I see is an army of people to make sure that that flame is not something like devastates the lives of millions, but becomes actually an agent of change. And we are a powerful army. Only we're going to have to learn how to work together. My name is José Andrés, and I am the chef, as my introducer said, who feeds the few, but I really want to help feed the many. I really wanted to cook ever since I was a little kid. And by sharing this story with you, you'll understand my love for the power of the flame. My father will always invite me to cook with him, but he didn't put me in charge of cooking the pot. He put me in charge of gathering the wood in the forest. I will make the fire for him, and he will make a very big rice dish called paella, a very traditional dish in Spain. After many years, I got very tired, very upset. Daddy, I want to cook. I want to put the spoon in the pot. Why are you giving me? Use the simple thing of making the fire. I got very upset. He sent me to the forest. Say, get away. I'll talk to you later. My family, friends enjoy the moment. At the end of the day, my father came to me, put his hand in the shoulder and told me, my son, why were you upset? I actually give you the most important task. I gave you the power of controlling fire. If you control fire, then and only then, you will be able to cook. This is a very deep message, because really what he was doing was laying down my foundation. My foundation not only as a cook, but my foundation as a person. And so the lesson that my father told me has stayed through my career. And really by understanding this simple foundation, I could really begin reimagining how in the process of eating, cooking, and using creativity, we can be changing a lot of things around the world. And so traveling the world as a student of culture and food, I very much began learning techniques and things that I began bringing to my restaurants. But the amazing thing is that I am not a chef, but a storyteller through food. And in those travels around the world, I began really, truly to understand why the flame is so important to every single human in life. You know, for my father and me, to cook was a pleasure. But here is where we start having issues. To millions around the world is death or life the good use of that powerful flame. 3 billion people or more around the world, we all know the statistics, use fire or charcoal to cook. I'm not telling you the statistic, I've been in those places, in many countries around. It's almost half of the world population. Imagine the amazing business you have in your hands. I want to invest in your companies because you have 3 billion people to change their life. You are in the right business. And according to the World Health Organization, 4 million people die every year. And this is double the quantity of people that die out of AIDS, HIV. And the fun part of this, if we could call it fun, is that this is not happening in places that are far away that we don't know. This is not happening in the middle of rural Africa or in the middle of India or somewhere that looks like, oof, too far away. This happens in places like only 2 hours away from Miami, in a place that should be a paradise called, for example, Haiti. And in 2010, I was in Haiti. I was in Cayman Islands. The earthquake hit. I was in January in the beach. And don't tell me what happened, but something inside me was not right. I knew the problems in Haiti with deforestation, and I was like, oof, I have to do something. I had a call. I don't know why. I had a call. So I struggled how I could help, right? I didn't want to throw more money in the problem, right, just by showing up there, but I wanted to start coming with ideas that the humble cook could be investing into solutions. So I went to Port-au-Prince with a group of friends. With 15 solar cook stoves, we began going from village to village. Right? That was right after the earthquake. And we do solar kitchens and a pressure cooker I developed in black that we were able to boil 1 gallon of water in under 20 minutes. Just we began going many villages during almost 2 weeks. We were cooking rice, beans, whatever they had in the village. And yes, quite frankly, this was a very tiny, tiny, tiny effort. But what happens was that allowed me to begin learning, because to help, you have to learn about the amazing challenges that those Haitian people had every day of their lives. And amazed that some of them were spending 30–40% of their daily income in buying the charcoal to cook the food that will feed their families. Wow. So I learned that it's a vicious food cycle, because we all know food is energy. And to cook the food that will give us the energy to move our society, which is every human being. But then here is the problems that we all know. We have children, we have mothers. The smoke makes them totally unhealthy. I've seen mothers cooking with the kids because they don't have cribs, making those children unhealthy by the time they are 1 year old. In the process of these girls and mothers being unhealthy, well, they send the children to pick up wood. The children can spend between half an hour and 3 hours gathering the wood because they have to bring it home or they make them bring it at school. In the process, my friends, they don't receive education. In the process of not receiving education, many of these children are put in harm's way, and things happen to them. They're taken away or they are raped, and that's a fact. I've seen it firsthand. In the process, total deforestation. You know what happens when it's total deforestation, right? The rain comes. Rain equals life. But because the rain all of a sudden doesn't penetrate the land, doesn't penetrate the goodness of the earth, the land becomes kind of a cascade. The water starts coming down. And then what happens? It takes away all the good soil that is supposed to be a great farmland. That good soil is washed away. Next season, they will not have a good harvest to keep feeding the ever-growing population. In the process, they take homes, they take lives, and in the process, our oceans, I think I went one too quick. And in the process, that soil goes to the water. And I'm a scuba diver, and I know for a fact, when that soil is around the Caribbean islands and all the ocean gets cloudy, there is no coral, there is no reef, and then, my friends, there is no fish. Something like everyone in this room, we all celebrate every day with friends and family, which is sitting down on a table and sharing a plate of food. Something like should be true enjoyment. For many people, really is death or life. But the great news is that we have answers. And every one of you in this room have answers on your own. Only, again, as I said before, we all need to start working together. The world doesn't necessarily need more NGOs. Sometimes more NGOs doesn't equal a better world. But we need to start working on those that really work. I was looking for an NGO that will invest in solutions through the power of food. I couldn't really find one. That food was at the heart, so I created one with friends and family. I created what is called World Central Kitchen. And with World Central Kitchen, what we did was one of our first projects, very deep in Haiti, in a beautiful place called Fonberets, very near the frontier between Dominican Republic and Haiti. What we call this is a smart school kitchen. And here I'm very happy because we began doing research and development with solar. But then we began working, obviously, with improved cook stoves. If you don't know, just in case, will be stoves that even they use charcoal and or wood, they use 60, 70% less. I wish I could be taking their LPG, but for many reasons, still, the infrastructure is not ready because they still need the road to even being able to arrive there with a proper truck. So here, we began feeding 160 children a day. We did a little farm, we did a chicken farm. The farm was covering 20 to 30% of the daily meals to add on top of the rice that we were getting from World Food Program. The chickens, we were able to sell the eggs so we could be paying the cooks that will be cooking every day. And with the savings that they began creating by using less charcoal and less wood, they were able to spend a little bit more money on the food we were buying to make sure that the children will keep being the future of Haiti. But one of the things I'm really happy is what is happening now after 5 years in Haiti. I'm a very small NGO called World Central Kitchen, and it's many great people doing great things in places like Haiti. So this 2014, we launched what is called Haiti Breathes, which is in partnership with USAID, Chemonics, and Switch Haiti, where we are really trying to convert. We're going to be in the process of converting 800 schools in Haiti that they're going to move from charcoal to gas. And this is very good news. In the process, we're going to be bringing food safety sanitation to make sure that no person will be unhealthy in the process of feeding others. And working with producers and different partners, we hope that we'll start creating this system where the schools will become almost like the Apple store. When people are hesitant to use something they don't know, and I've seen people afraid of using something like looks like a tank and looks strange to them. When they see that in the school happens, that school becomes a showcase. That school becomes the best ad. That school becomes like it was an Apple store where you see, and you see how they're feeding your children in a healthy way. And this began changing the minds of people and giving an option of people like you of opening ways to start creating an LPG industry in those countries. I want to share this story with you. This is my friend Loon. We all have heroes, right? Usually our heroes are football players, baseball players, cricket players. Well, she's my hero because after the earthquake was over 120 kids that there were handicapped in the streets of Haiti. She picked every one of those kids and began this orphanage. Those were the kids that needed help the most, children that couldn't walk or et cetera, et cetera. And what I'm very happy is that the day I met her, I knew that I had used another place to belong. Every time I'm around those kids, my heart is full of joy. And sometimes gives you a purpose why you are doing this. Why I'm telling you this. Loon was spending a lot of money in bread every day. Was buying the bread outside, and the bread quality was so-so. And here is where we came with a simple solution. We created a bakery inside the orphanage. Now, we produce bread for not only the 120 kids plus the 240 people that were there, but for the last 2 years, we've been selling the bread, and we are almost making $2,000 a month. This is a very tiny solution that can be replicated all over Haiti. And in this time, we're using clean energy that makes this even a more powerful thing. Here we are opening a fish restaurant after the success of the bakery. Now we are not only going to open one in January, but we already have plans to open many more. The bread we're going to use, we're going to start making sandwiches, and we're going to start making fried fish sandwiches with a little fish farm that is next to the orphanage. Again, small solutions that could be replicated to change the world. And those are a group of girls that they are going to be studying in the new culinary school in Port-au-Prince, in a beautiful school called Elie Dubois, where we hope to start training the future of what is going to be the need of tourism for a country like Haiti, tourism as an agent of change. And you're going to be saying, you're telling me that Haiti is a tourist destination, Jose? I'm going to be telling you Haiti, because these girls like this, one day they're going to be serving and cooking and taking care of our hotels and taking care of our restaurants for people like you and me. This was a very little documentary to show you the beauty of a country like Haiti. That is a documentary, hopefully, is going to be in partnership with National Geographic. We shot during 2 years, and where we are planning to be showcasing the beauty of a country, like 98% deforestation, but where actually tourism and began implementing more LPG all over can transform Haiti in one of the most powerful tourist destinations in the Caribbean. So, just to end, those are some of the things that a chef like me and a group of people like us we're doing. It's very tiny, it's very small, but sometimes small things can help create big changes. Sometimes instead of talking, it's better to start walking, and that's what we did. We started walking. We have many projects happening over the next 1, 2, 3 years. But this is what I want to end sharing with you. If you see everything I show you, cooking is behind. Cooking is at the heart. Cooking is essential to make those things successful. And we need to start breaking this cycle of death to create this cycle of beauty. So this image you have right there in the horizon will be replicated anywhere you are, not only Haiti, but around the world. We have to give the people the power to control the fire. We have to give them controlling the healthy, good fire. That's what we all should be doing. And for that, my friend, nothing in the world today can have a bigger impact than make sure that every person in the world has access to clean energy to feed their families. So I'm going to tell you, LPG will bring heat to those that are cold. And LPG should bring health to those that are sick. And LPG should bring education to every girl that at times receives none. And LPG will bring safety to those young girls. And LPG will make sure that we have better harvest around the world. And LPG will make sure that the nets of the fishermen are filled every day. This is the power of LPG. And we need to remember that one day, this will be the past. And this will be the present and the future. And like we will not have more people cooking like that, like 50,000 years ago, and that we have more people cooking like this. And that we will never, ever have children having to do that. But instead, our children will be the generation of the future. Just to end, remember this phrase. One of my heroes, philosopher, 1826, the guy that said, "Tell me what you eat and I will tell you who you are." But he said, the future of the nations will depend on how they feed themselves. My friends, to feed our planet in the way we all want our planet to be, we need more clean energy. And you have to make sure that that clean energy gets to every person on this earth. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I'd like to thank José Andrés for that fantastic presentation, a fantastic speech, and for that passion. And secondly, we're going to have a signing ceremony here with the president of World LP Gas Association, Kimball Chen, and José Andrés. We will be doing a partnership together with World Central Kitchen. WLPGA will produce good guidelines on best practices for conversions of institutions such as schools, orphanages, hospitals, that want to convert from using charcoal or biomass to using LPG. And World Central Kitchen is going to provide a section, a chapter on nutrition, on safe food preparation, and these two things will be symbiotic and together. So if I could just ask Kimball Chen, there he is, to come up.